So we've been joined by Ben Kofiaye. He's a ranking member in Ghana's parliament on the following committees: Employment, Social Welfare and State. He's also a member of the Judiciary Committee, the Mines and Energy Committee. He's a member of parliament for Upper Dintra West. And you have gone through elections. And this is just one last question before we move to the substantives. What do you make of the NDC's expansion of the Electoral College? It's all encompassing. You will have no option than to move on as a party to that very. And they say it's supposed to remove monetization. Do you think you will achieve that very aim?
Well, from afar, you would think it may cut out these monetization issues. But as to whether the reality on the ground will support that is yet to play out. I'm sure by the end of their elections, they may come and tell us whether they did really have to spend or they didn't spend. Perhaps if they had allowed people to vote at the polling stations, then that could have helped to some extent. But I'm told they have to vote now the electoral areas, centers, right?
We will create electoral centers.
Yes.
Just like
so
the main election.
That's like the main election.
Yes, but that is where the problem and some of the challenges may come from. For example, if you are from a constituency like my place, where an electoral area may comprise of about 6-7 towns sometimes, then it means it behoves on you, the candidate, to bus all these people to that center. Otherwise, if you don't bus me there, I'm not going to vote for you. If somebody should provide a means of transport for me to go to the center.
And if you bus, it means you have to give them transport back.
Exactly. And that will also come with its own cost. But the idea of bringing everybody on board to help in deciding who becomes a parliamentary candidate or who becomes a presidential candidate, I think is good.
Do you think that it's better than having 400 people decide the fate, or 500 people decide the fate of a personality who has been in parliament for them?
Well, both have their pros and cons. You see, the other side of the argument is you may have somebody who has not done anything towards the growth of the party in this constituency, or has not even contributed a dime towards it, but because he has a party card, he has a chance to come and decide the fate of who becomes the presidential candidate or the parliamentary candidate. And that, to me, is sometimes not the best, you see. However, if you have people who have really cared about the survival of the party, deciding on who leads the party, then that also has its own, advantages. Rather than somebody who had not cared all these years, come 4 years, then he is coming to decide who leads the party. So both, have their own pros and cons.
Okay, we'll see how that goes as far as that is concerned. And are they when would be the election day?
November 7th.
November 7th?
Yes. Okay.
We're hoping this one will not go to the 8th. The last election we had to go on the 8th. December 7th and December 8th. Now, there's a young man, University of Science and Technology graduate, KNUST graduate, and apparently sent a message to his folks that he's going to join ISIS, the Islamic States for Iraq and Syria. And now it's been confirmed just in the papers this morning that we have a lady who has also joined him, so we have two.
I see.
The national security apparatus say they have a hand, they are in touch with whatever it is that they need to do as far as the surveillance and other activities are concerned. But are you worried about this phenomenon, Mr. Benai?
Yeah, to some extent I should be worried. You see, we've read and seen a lot about what this ISIS group can do. And this morning I was listening to a couple of commentaries, and the national security advisors were advising, especially the media, and of course all of us, to watch our public pronouncements on this issue. Left to me alone, we should support the national security in reducing the publicity of this issue in particular. Otherwise, like some of you were saying, that the district assembly election, for example, is going to perhaps receive low patronage because of low publicity, meaning the more we publicize the issue and bring it to the attention of others, the higher the chances of people trying to explore these things. So if I had my own way, then all of us should have or should support the national security in trying to reduce this ISIS publicity that is beginning to gain grounds in this country. Otherwise, a lot of our youth might know about it, and then perhaps, I'm not saying they do not know, they know, but the more publicity we give it, the more, it comes to the attention of people who otherwise might not have had knowledge about the existence and operations of these dangerous societies or groups in this country. So it's something we have to think about it and see whether we would like to continue giving it that front page stories we have been doing so far.
What do you make about the phenomenon then, and whether the national security need to perhaps do a lot more groundwork, and then the media also tones down the publicity?
Yeah, first of all, it was important for us to be aware of what is happening around us, and then for national security to come and allay our fears of this phenomenon in this country. But then I believe that we should look at the source. Where are these things coming from into our system? One, the universities, the tertiary institutions. When you go to these institutions, they've got so many clubs. Some are secretive, some a few group, no. And so on the campuses, what are the chancellors doing? And what is our security network, right? Are they up and doing on the campuses? Because the guy that has joined them, like you said, from KNUST, right? So his formative years in that institution, what happened? What went wrong? You understand? So these are the things that we should address ourselves to, rather than saying, don't talk about it. When you don't talk about it, it's go underground. We have these modern mobile phones and uploads and downloads and all those kind of things. They just sit in you go to the cafes and you see young guys in the cafe for the whole day. What are they doing? We start talking about Sakawa, and they were useless. So if we don't also have a debate, not the one that is going to position our boys to have interest, but rather to dissuade them. Dissuade them from wanting to go and join this is very important. But if you put a lid on it, then underground, things will be happening on the blind side. And also, the national security, are they cut out for these kind of religious extremisms? Because this was made known during this week, the national security has come on board. So, what were they doing before? So, Ben, I disagree with you that we should keep quiet on it. When you don't discuss it, you will not have solutions to the problem. And you keep under, and then one day it will explode in our faces. But the sensationalism, that is what we should rather take it out of the reporting. The sensationalism. Don't let it look glorious. That is what, but the negative and the harmful aspects of that group should be made known to the youth that, look, it is not an ideal thing for you to get yourself involved in.
Okay. Yeah.
You see, for example, we've been talking about armed robberies and armed robbers and the father sometimes when they are in court, they are sentenced to 20 years, 50 years, and some of them even to die by hanging. Has that stopped armed robbery? Now people get to know that, yes, there's an opportunity for them to pick a gun or a knife and go and stand somewhere and rob, and they keep robbing. That's what I'm saying, that we should manage how, we talk about these things in public. I'm not saying that security agents should go to bed. No. They should. But to some extent, if we can cut down the publicity, which of course will bring to the attention of a large majority of our people.
So you are saying we should work underground rather
the security agencies
and do less talk.
Exactly.
And less publicity to the subject.